Exclusive. Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun, what's behind their attraction? Is it just undeniable chemistry or something deeper that connects these two dazzling stars? Whispers of secret glances and heartfelt moments have set the industry abuzz. Could this be the beginning of an untold love story? Join Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover the truth and explore every detail. Right now, the room was charged with an unusual electricity that day. The air at the press conference was thick with whispers, clicking cameras, and the faint smell of anticipation. At the heart of it stood two of Korea's most beloved stars, Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun. Standing side by side as flashes of light captured every subtle smile, every glance exchanged. Nobody expected the two men to appear together, let alone radiate a connection so palpable that even the most jaded reporters found themselves holding their breath. When the event began, it seemed like any other promotional outing, a few words from their managers, light banter about upcoming projects. But then it happened. Kim Soo Hyun leaned slightly toward Park Bo-gum, whispered something into his ear, and both of them smiled knowingly. The room fell quiet. This was no ordinary display of camaraderie. Something deeper lingered in the air, an unspoken bond that no one could quite define. Speculation had swirled for months before this moment, fanned by sightings of the two actors at cafes late at night, quiet dinners after award shows, and even what appeared to be private vacations, though always denied. Fans had taken to social media in a frenzy, analyzing body language, matching outfits, even zooming in on subtle touches that spoke volumes. But until that press conference, everything remained in the realm of rumor. That day, the line between fiction and reality blurred. What makes their story all the more intriguing is how different yet complementary they are. Park Bo-gum, with his boyish charm, radiant smile, and warm demeanor, has long been known as Korea's national boyfriend. His ability to disarm even the toughest critics with his sincere eyes and gentle manners is legendary. He carries a quiet confidence, never flashy yet impossible to ignore. Kim Soo Hyun, on the other hand, is all mystery and depth, intense eyes that seem to pierce through your soul, a brooding elegance that makes him stand out in any room. Known for his perfectionism and powerful performances, he has always maintained a more guarded presence in public. And yet, when these two are together, their differences seem to vanish into a perfect balance, one radiating warmth, the other cool intrigue, creating a magnetic field that draws everyone in. The internet was quick to notice. Within minutes of the press conference ending, hashtags like #ParkBoGum Kim Soo Hyun and #Secret Connection began trending worldwide. Clips of them laughing together went viral, while grainy photos of their post-event dinner started circulating on fan sites. So what's the real story? Is it simply an unexpected friendship between two megastars? Or is there more simmering beneath the surface, something neither has yet dared to say out loud? Digging deeper into their history reveals moments that, in hindsight, seem almost faded. Back in 2016, Kim Soo Hyun reportedly attended a musical performance where Park Bo-gum was making a guest appearance. Although nothing was confirmed at the time, fans noted Soo Hyun in the audience, clapping enthusiastically, even waiting backstage to congratulate Bo-gum. Years later, at an award ceremony, they were seated next to each other by chance, or perhaps design, and were caught on camera exchanging knowing smiles all evening. Behind closed doors, sources close to the two describe a friendship forged in the quietest corners of the industry, away from prying eyes. "They're like yin and yang," said one stylist who has worked with both. "They balance each other out." When Bo-gum gets nervous before a shoot, Soo Hyun is the calm voice in his ear. When Soo Hyun gets too intense and forgets to eat or rest, Bo-gum's the one bringing him snacks and reminding him to take a break. And it's not just personal support. Professionally, they have cheered each other on as well. When Kim Soo Hyun returned from his military service, one of the first congratulatory messages came from Park Bo-gum, who reportedly sent him a care package filled with handwritten notes and his favorite snacks. Likewise, when Bo-gum enlisted, Soo Hyun was seen visiting his set to bid him farewell, sparking yet another flurry of rumors. The more one uncovers, clearer it becomes that this isn't some shallow, manufactured relationship crafted for publicity. Rather, it's a bond rooted in years of shared experiences. Night conversations about fame and loneliness, and the kind of trust that only those who walk similar paths can understand. What sets them apart is how fiercely they have guarded this connection. Unlike other celebrity friendships that thrive on public validation, theirs has always been about what happens when the cameras are off. Rarely posting pictures together, they instead let small, quiet gestures slip through the cracks, an arm draped over a shoulder at a wrap party, a private joke shared mid-interview, a subtle nod of encouragement across a crowded room. And their management teams have remained tight-lipped, offering only vague statements when pressed. Their colleagues who respect and admire each other, one representative said, "There's nothing more to say. Anyone who's watched them closely knows better. The language of glances and laughter cannot be so easily dismissed." As the press conference ended and the two made their way off stage, the energy in the room lingered like an aftershock. Reporters kept their cameras trained on them, hoping for one final clue. And then it happened. As they walked toward the exit, Kim Soo Hyun placed a protective hand on Bo Gum's back, guiding him through the crowd. The gesture was brief, almost imperceptible, but for those watching, it said everything. On social media, fans erupted. "Did you see that?" One user tweeted, "That was not just friendly." Another wrote, "We've been right all along. There's something there." Theories ranged from secret dating to simply being soulmates in a platonic sense. Regardless of which, one thing was certain, they had captured the public's imagination in a way no scripted drama ever could. The mystery only deepened as the days passed. Paparazzi began staking out their known hangouts, capturing blurred images of them slipping into cars together, dining at quiet restaurants, or disappearing into private residences. Tabloids churned out headline after headline, each more sensational than the last. Are Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun Korea's most private couple? Behind the smiles, the truth about their late-night meetings. And yet, despite the frenzy, neither star addressed the rumors. Instead, they carried on with their respective projects, smiling politely when asked, diverting questions with practiced charm. The silence only fueled speculation further, creating an aura of intrigue around them that no amount of denial could extinguish. Perhaps that's what makes their story so compelling. The idea that behind the glamour and flashing lights lies a quiet truth they've chosen to keep for themselves. In an industry where nothing stays hidden for long, they have somehow managed to preserve a pocket of intimacy that feels both forbidden and irresistible. What remains to be seen is whether they will ever choose to share that truth, or if the allure lies precisely in the not knowing. For now, fans continue to watch, dissecting every look, every word, every fleeting touch, hoping to piece together the puzzle. And somewhere, perhaps in the corner of a dimly lit restaurant or on the set of their next project, Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun exchange another knowing glance, fully aware of the spectacle they've created, and fully intent on keeping the world guessing just a little longer. As the days turned into weeks, fascination with Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun only intensified. What began as an unexpected press conference had spiraled into one of the most talked about stories in Korean entertainment. Fans were glued to their screens, eagerly waiting for the next breadcrumb of information. Every move they made, every social media post they liked, every interview they gave was dissected and debated. Then came a night that shifted everything into overdrive. On a crisp winter evening, they were both spotted at a private art exhibit opening in Gangnam. Unlike the press conference, there was no official reason for them to appear together. But they did. Both arrived separately, or so it seemed at first, but were caught on camera leaving at the exact same time, disappearing into a waiting car. Was supposed to be an intimate, quiet event for close friends of the artist turned into a media circus as word got out that Korea's most mysterious pair had been in attendance. One witness claimed that during the evening, Bo-gum and Soo Hyun stood in a secluded corner, speaking in low tones, their heads leaning close as if the rest of the room didn't exist. It was like they were in their own world, she said. Another guest, a well-known director, remarked, "They have this strange gravity between them. Everyone notices it, but nobody dares to interrupt." The photographs from that night fueled a new wave of rumors. In one image, Soo Hyun's hand rested lightly on Bo-gum's arm as they gazed at a painting. In another, Bo-gum was seen laughing, his face tilted towards Soo Hyun in a way that spoke of trust, or something more. By the next morning, headlines screamed, secret lovers or just friends? Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo Hyun spark more speculation at art exhibit. Fans began posting side-by-side comparisons of their outfits, noticing the subtle matching tones, black suits, white shirts, and delicate silver pins. Couple coordination? One user asked, echoing the collective curiosity. Even industry insiders began to weigh in. A former drama producer who had worked with both actors confided to a reporter, "In this business, you see all kinds of relationships, real, fake, for PR, for convenience. But those two, they're genuine. Whatever it is, it's real." I've never seen Soo Hyun smile the way he does around Bo-gum. But the intrigue came at a price. As whispers grew louder, so did the pressure. Paparazzi followed them relentlessly, with journalists camping outside their homes, hoping for confirmation or confrontation. Both stars, known for their composed public demeanor, began to show signs of strain. During a fan signing event, Bo-gum's normally bright smile seemed forced, his eyes darting nervously whenever someone mentioned Soo Hyun. Meanwhile, Soo Hyun, during a promotional interview, abruptly ended the session when the host brought up the art exhibit, saying only, "Next question." For their fans, the ordeal was equally conflicting. They were overjoyed, writing heartfelt messages of support and flooding social media with hashtags like #LetThemBe and #Bo-gum Soo Hyun forever. Others expressed concern, worried that the constant scrutiny might drive a wedge between the two or even derail their careers. Then, just when the storm reached its peak, something unexpected happened. Bo-gum and Soo Hyun both posted cryptic messages on their personal social media accounts, minutes apart. Late one night, Bo-gum shared a serene black and white photo of a quiet beach with the caption, "Not everything needs to be explained." Moments later, Soo Hyun posted a photo of a single candle burning in the dark, accompanied by the words, "Let it be." Posts, subtle yet deliberate, sent fans into another frenzy. Some saw it as a quiet acknowledgement of their bond. Others wondered if it was their way of asking for space and understanding. Either way, the messages only deepened the mystery, and strengthened the public's fascination. But what few people knew was how much the two had endured behind closed doors. According to someone close to both actors, relentless speculation had begun to affect their personal lives and mental health. Bo-gum, who had always been seen as the cheerful, optimistic one, reportedly became more withdrawn, avoiding unnecessary outings and limiting his interactions even with close friends. Soo Hyun, on the other hand, threw himself into his work with an almost obsessive focus, filming back-to-back projects and spending long hours at the gym, as if trying to outrun the storm. Both incredibly private, the source said. Neither of them likes drama, which is ironic given how much drama surrounds them now. They're just two people who found comfort in each other's company. But the world won't let them have that in peace. Despite the turmoil, they still found ways to stay connected. During a charity event in Busan, they were spotted sitting at the same table, heads close as they shared quiet words. At an awards show, when Bo-gum's name was announced as the winner of Best Actor, the cameras caught Soo Hyun clapping harder than anyone else, his smile proud and genuine. And then came the moment that seemed to crystallize everything. During a televised interview for a new drama, Bo-gum was asked what he valued most in life. He paused for a long time before replying, "Someone who understands you without needing words. Someone who stays, no matter what." The camera panned to Soo Hyun, who was seated nearby. He didn't say anything, but he didn't need to. The look on his face said it all. That single exchange reignited all the questions that had been swirling for months. But this time, it was different. Instead of demanding answers, the public seemed to finally understand that perhaps some things are better left unsaid. In the end, maybe that's the real story, not whether they're friends or lovers, but that they've found something rare and precious in a world that so often feels cold and performative. Something authentic. Even as they continue their respective careers, Bo-gum with his upcoming historical drama, Soo Hyun with his much-anticipated thriller film, fans now view their connection as something to admire rather than scrutinize. It has become a symbol of quiet defiance. A reminder that amidst the noise and chaos of fame, it's still possible to find someone who sees you, really sees you, and stays anyway. And so, the mystery endures. Perhaps that's why, even now, They remain one of the most talked about duos in the industry. Not because they've confirmed or denied anything, but because they've shown that real connections don't need to be explained or justified. They simply are. As for Bogum and Soo Hyun, they continue walking side by side, sometimes in the open, sometimes in the shadows, but always, seems, together. And the world, captivated, watches on, waiting to see what comes next.